preview A. Let's have a look at this. Nice. All right. Let's get to it then. So we just need to be able to get to the flowchart, and then we can get to the choice between the 4 and 5 door. Alrighty. So look at all that. Look at all that we've accomplished. Look at all this. So we're aiming for this side of the board now. We're aiming to get through here and see what lies beyond this locked point. No. This is the one we need. We gotta go down here, get through the escape rooms here, then we gotta go through here, and then we gotta go this way. So if I'm remembering the layout of the game correctly, this will be... we'll be going through door 4, then door 7, then door 1. And we'll... kinda... Last time that gave us the axe ending, again because we hadn't fulfilled certain requirements. So you see the axe here. So fulfilling the requirements this time because we have information from the other timelines will allow us to proceed here. Whereas last time we went through this route because we didn't have certain information, again, from other timelines, and we didn't examine the safe, we ended up with the knife ending. So... axes and clovers. Basically astral, yeah. Okay. So let's get to it. Now, the fun part is we can fast forward, which is going to make a lot of this much more straightforward for us. Hey, Monstar! The flowchart of death, indeed. Four it is. Right. And yes, that hallway was covered in blood. Somebody explodes before we go through these doors. So, ugh. Quite literally. Monster, quite literally, pop goes the weasel. The ninth man was a bit of a weasel. Okay, so the reason we actually have to do the puzzle rooms is because there are story checkpoints within the puzzles themselves that we need to trigger. So, oh hey, it's the Funyarinpa. Kind of a weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose, sucking on a human being's brain. Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? Can't say I'd mind finding out a little more about what goes on in there. Mind out of the gutter, Junpei. Okay. Vase looks expensive. I wonder how much we could get for it. Are you gonna steal it? Okay, so what have we got? Box of matches. Junpei looked down blankly at what he was holding, and then up at June.
Oh yeah, how's your fever? You feeling better now?
Yes, I'm fine.
June certainly looked fine.
Let me see your forehead.
Junpei held his hand on her forehead for a few seconds.
Guess it really has gone down.
Are you worried about me?
Like, yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah, I guess I am.
June blushed and giggled.
By the way, Junpei?
Hmm?
How did you end up here?
What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I?
There was a man with a gas mask when you got home at night. You inhaled some white smoke and passed out. When you woke up, you were on D-deck.
Damn straight.
But is that really the truth?
What?
Junpei, are you hiding something from me?
The audacity!
No, why would I?
Well, if you think about it, this is awfully suspicious. I mean, why would two childhood friends bump into each other in a place like this?
Hey, I could ask you the same thing. Are you hiding something?
What would I hide?
Well, I don't know. Anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know?
You mean like the number of men I've dated?
Junpei's heart stumbled over itself.
Do you want to know?
He had to admit, he was a little curious.
Don't worry.
She smiled at him.
Only 18.
Huh?
Times 0. Yeah, I guess I just haven't met Mr. Right yet.
Yeah, he's in a different franchise. June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in a desperate attempt to seem nonchalant.
Yeah, I see.
Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way.
Anyway, I'm not hiding anything. Just like you, Junpei. When I woke up, I was on D-deck.
Well, you do have a point. I mean, why did Zero pick us? We haven't seen each other since elementary school.
I wonder.
June nodded, and for a few moments she had the faraway look of someone deep in thought.
Look for what connects the victims. That will lead you to the culprit. Do you remember Seven saying something like that?
Yeah, I do. So?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this must all have something to do with a classmate of ours.
You got any ideas who it might be?
No, nothing.
Oh,
Well, if it had something to do with school, then it could be one of our teachers, or maybe the principal.
or the janitor, or the lunch lady.
Oh, I can barely remember any of them.
Yeah, I know.
Junpei went back to searching, feeling unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened in elementary school? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. Okay. This isn't a painting. Is it a map? Okay. Do you think this boat is a replica of the Titanic or the actual Titanic? I
Yeah,
do.
well, I guess so. To a certain extent.
Junpei scratched his temple.
What about you? No, I guess that's kind of a dumb question.
Yes, I do believe in curses. In fact, I think it was a curse that sunk the Titanic.
Huh?
What?
A curse sank the Titanic. The curse of the Egyptian mummy.
Huh? Junpei couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that.
Supposedly, the Titanic carried the mummy of the priestess Amun-Ra, which was stolen from a pyramid. And they say that the mummy had a history. Everyone involved with it died mysterious deaths. Come on, I'm sure you've heard of it before. Those who open the coffin will be forever cursed. Haven't you ever heard that one?
So you're saying the Titanic sunk because of that curse?
That's right!
June's eyes had lit up with excitement, like a child with a new toy. I mean, forgive my baseless speculation, but I think the giant fucking chunk of ice it rammed into might have had something to do with it. Oh, no, Ben, like, you should play this game top to bottom. It is full of pseudoscience and conspiracy theories, and it's just delivered like it's all delivered like this. So, you know, assuredly, and it's fantastic for that.
That mummy, the priestess? Supposedly, she was special.
What do you mean?
Well, supposedly, she was really pretty.
Pretty?
Yes,
But she was a mummy.
that's right. She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She almost looked alive.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, it's that thing. I don't remember the name. Where your body turns into some kind of wax? Yeah? The fat in it turns into something kind of like candle wax, right? And
Yes, saponification, but that's not what it was.
huh?
That's not it. She wasn't wax.
Then what was it?
They say that she was frozen.
What? They're frozen?
That's right. The whole body was frozen solid. You know how a human body is more than 60% water? Well, all of that water was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
That's crazy.
I think so too, but maybe it's true and we just didn't know about it before.
I didn't know?
Yep. Maybe it's common sense to eat shaved ice in the desert because it lasts forever.
Huh? Nah, that seems too silly to be true.
But maybe it isn't. It just appears that way because you didn't know it was true.
Well, yeah,
June and Junpei talked a little more, and then went back to their investigation. But even as they did, his mind went back to what she'd told him.
ice that doesn't melt, even in the desert? Does something like that really exist? No, even if it did, it wouldn't really be ice anymore, would it?
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast. Okay. This is the mirror for the dresser. And now she's playing with her hair. Does she even realize she's doing that? Idiot. Okay. So I don't think there's anything else here we need. Okay. Interesting. Their picture is missing. Okay, so if we combine the candle with the matches, we get a lit candle. Ben, meet Lotus. She's a programmer. Two pillows in a pile. Oh. A pile of pillows. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Hey, calm down. Okay, so... So we leave here. We take our new key here. Okay, but then we have another plate.
Hey, Junpei, you got a minute?
Yeah. Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Junpei no small start.
Here, take this.
Santa pulled something out of his pocket.
A bookmark?
It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it.
What is this for? Do you want me to read a book?
I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figured we might as well hang on to it anyway.
Then why don't you hold on to it?
Santa gave him a wry smile.
You know what I hate most in the world? I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck.
Oops.
Hope, faith, love, and luck?
Damn straight.
And you hate these things?
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
Not really, but...
Junpei tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say.
What does a bookmark have to do with any of that?
And Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward.
Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So, leaf language, I guess? Yeah, you could call them leaf words.
Or I am 14 and this is deep. So this is the local edgelord, huh? Yeah, basically.
Leaf words.
Junpei looked at the bookmark.
Hope, faith, love, and luck. The meaning of the leaves on a 4-leaf clover.
So, yeah, I want you to take it, okay? Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright?
Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands.
Here.
What do you want to do? We take it. This is one of the check marks that we need for the ending, so... we decided to take it. After all, why shouldn't we?
Alright, sure. I'll take it.
He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last, confused look.
Oh, man, I feel a lot better now. That thing was a real pain, you know?
Do you really hate those 4 words that much?
Yeah, well, they can all betray you, you know? Hope, faith, love, even your destiny.
What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? Well, we do learn later in the game his sister died. But his parents died in a car accident, and then he had to raise his younger sister by himself, and then she died 9 years ago. So for a moment they looked at each other.
Well, that's not my only reason.
What?
That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4.
Yeah, well, yeah. Deaf, I get that.
What, worried about the 4 horsemen?
Nah, come on, man. That's just silly. Maybe back in the Dark Ages that kind of crap scared people. But this is the 21st century, and I'm a 21st century guy.
Also, Ben, have you realized whose voice that is yet?
I'm a little insulted.
Then why do you hate 4 so much?
Because it's a half-ass number. Not the best or the worst. That's why.
What?
9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number.
What are you...
Santa's explanation made no sense. Junpei was even more confused than before.
You play?
Play?
I... Like... Gambling? We went with stock market last time, he asked, so let's go with gambling this time.
You mean like gambling?
Yeah, of course. What else would I need? In Baccarat, the best possible hand totals 9. They call it Le Grand. But the lowest, most worthless cards, zeros, they call Monkey.
Just like the guy in charge of this game, huh? Zero's a monkey.
Santa blinked, utterly stunned.
What?
Then he began to laugh.
Oh man, you're totally right. The guy who trapped us in here sure is one hell of a monkey.
And that was when Lotus spoke up.
You know, if you think about it, the Nonary Game is really a lot like Baccarat.
Apparently, she'd been listening.
And of course, it doesn't use any of that stupid digital root junk. You just drop the tens digit, and that's it. Still, it does have the same idea of your final number needing to be a single digit.
Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point.
And in both games, whoever has 9 wins.
Which is funny, because one of the puzzle rooms in this game does involve playing Baccarat, so... But you have to go through door 5 to get there. Door 4 will not give you Baccarat.
The person who makes 9 wins?
Wait, did you forget already? Don't you remember what Zero said?
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. So, if we want to get off this boat, we have to make a team whose numbers have the digital root of 9.
And only the people in that team are going to make it out alive.
Yep. Santa is ravioli.
Of course. That's why it's called the Nonary Game.
What?
Huh?
You don't know? Nonary means something derived from 9, or base 9. It's derived from the Latin prefix nona, which means 9. While we're at it, the prefix for 1 is uni. You know, like the unicorn, the horse with 1 horn. 2 is bi, like binary.
And bisexual.
Binary means composed of 2 parts. 3 is tri. I'm sure you've heard that one plenty.
2 is bi.
Like trio, triple, and triangle. You get the idea.
Thruple. Wait, no.
After that, you have quart, quinty, sext, septum, and so on. And of course, the prefix for 8 is octo, like octopus.
Why did you say "and so on" if you were just gonna finish it off anyway?
It's called that because it has 8 legs. Get it?
I see. So then Nona means 9.
Lotus nodded.
So, how many of us are trapped on this ship?
That'd be 9.
Well, 8, because the 9th man is currently, well, not exactly a person anymore.
And what are the bracelet numbers we have?
They go from 1 to 9.
And our time limit? How many hours did we have?
Zero said 9 hours.
And finally, to get out of this ship.
We need to find the door with a 9 that's hidden somewhere in the ship.
9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
By making a team with the digital root of 9.
Lotus nodded again.
And there you have it. The number 9 is everywhere in this game. He's got a real theme of 9s for this whole thing. No wonder it's called the Nonary Game.
Somewhere far away, Junpei heard the crack, or the creak, of stressed metal. It sounded almost like Zero laughing at them. Or the sad, desperate scream of a pig headed to the slaughterhouse. So, what do we do with the shower curtain, you might ask? Oh, okay, cool. We didn't need the curtain. Right. So long, gay Bowser. Okay. So... Huh. There we go. Alright, we did it. Picture complete. And there goes the frame. The Mars key. Junpei messed around with the key he had, and looked blankly at the picture that slid down.
What's the deal with this picture anyway?
Santa had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused.
I think I've seen this picture before.
So I'm gonna make a cheeky save here. We're gonna bounce back to it. In a sec, we're gonna bounce right back to it. But there is a correct answer here, and then there's the fun answer. And we're gonna go with the fun answer first. One last time.
Where?
In a book. There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book.
what's this interesting theory?
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk about it is giving me a headache.
Santa put his hands on his head, as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued.
It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shape of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye.
What part of that isn't difficult, exactly?
All right, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
Telepathy?
Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it's close enough for a simple approximation.
Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are? Kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that.
Yes, I agree. I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in his book.
Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke.
Hey, what do you think this picture looks like?
Santa answered first.
What do you mean? Isn't it just like abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it.
What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you?
One more time, chat.
I guess it looks like...
You can spam the emote. Oh. I guess it looks like a Funyarinpa.
A Funyarinpa. See? I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
What the hell is a Funyarinpa?
What do you mean? What the hell is a Funyarinpa? You mean you don't know?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know?
How could you not know?
That's practically blasphemous. Oh, say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funyarinpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman.
Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she shook.
Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you.
So, right, how do I get out to the save file? How do I get out? Did not save. Would you like to quit? No. Ask. Oh, fine. It's a dog.
This is a dog. See? Like this.
Lotus pointed out at parts of the picture, and eventually a dog took shape. It looked as though she had a point. It was a dog.
So, now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us.
Lotus nodded and
A
began
TV
to
show
speak.
from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify, initially. But once you figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. These two pictures. The first was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the picture to other parts of the world, outside the reach of British airwaves. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc.
Woohoo! Ireland mentioned.
Then, in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects, roughly 1,000 people. They were shown the two pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you? The results weren't really interesting on their own. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then, 2 days later, they aired a new program on their show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it was a safe bet that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture was at least that many. After another 2 days passed, they gathered more research subjects from areas outside the reach of British TV and radio. This time, they only found a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same tests and the same two pictures. The results were startling. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test sat at a 9.2% success rate. Not much of a change statistically. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog, it went from 3.9% to 6.8%, a very significant increase. So do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen it. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean?
Lotus looked back and forth, from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed. and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took a involuntary step backwards. Getting late? Yeah, no worries, Ben. Thank you for dropping in. And thank you for the 0 but also 30 months. Incredibly kind. Thank you so much. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes.
Oh, wait, does this have something to do
Sleep
with
well,
that
pal.
field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye. So, if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Huh.
Psych!
Got him! He's a cutie. Her manner suddenly shifted, and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off.
I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station after all.
At last. It seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure.
Right! Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I, really thought you were serious.
Excuse me, lady, that's the BBC you were talking about. Yes, they would never falsify anything for ratings. Never.
Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience.
Actually, you know, because we've done this, I'm just gonna swap to adventure mode.
Oh, okay, right.
All right, enough nonsense. We've got the key. Let's get out of here.
Word.
A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenetic field.
Alright, let's go to the hallway. Alright, let's get out of here. So, I really wanted the dialogue to not be skipped in this room because it's gonna be important this run, so a bit of a refresher is... What we do, we have to get June. Oh.
Another hall.
We can start skipping all this again. Until the next puzzle room, anyway. Oh hey, his eyes are back on the screen. Interesting. Did I see the Xbox showcase? I saw the Ninja Gaiden 4 trailer. It looks amazing. It looks so good. Like, oh god, it's been so long since I've played Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Ooh, end of April, nice. I forgot about the Zelda reference. So is there nothing we need here? No, that's not true. We actually, there's a lot. So where's the whetstone? Ah, there we go. Okay. Olive oil, okay.
A rusty knife?
I got a knife!
I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste, useless, pointless.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
Mood? As a mood?
Huh? Why were you thinking about futility?
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
The Titanic?
We're back on this?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank.
Yeah, that's the one. The title of the novel is Futility. It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But
I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but the story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic?
yeah,
Well, I heard it was all a hoax.
a hoax?
I heard that the stuff that matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently, the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into an iceberg and sank.
But the novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident.
Mm-hmm. Second editions exist, June.
Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to the Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know? He just went back and changed some stuff in his novel, so that it matched the Titanic exactly.
Really?
Really? There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff.
But... That wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking.
It wasn't?
She's such a nerd.
Yep. There were 2 other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident.
We stan Akane Kurashiki in this house. I actually have, no word of a lie, on my house keys, I have a little keychain of a chibi Junpei and June. And above the Zelda scroll to my right here, hanging off the hook is another keyring of like the front of the bracelet. And it's also got another little chibi. Junpei is facing like up toward the ceiling, and Akane is underneath, and it has a 9 on the face. But if you flip it around, it's the face of the bracelet from Virtue's Last Reward, and it's got Sigma and Phi on it instead. So, yeah. We stan Akane Kurashiki in this house.
One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote 2 stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, 2 ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank.
Storm out there is getting so bad. I'm really hoping it doesn't, like, kill the stream.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that.
We've got a red warning for today. Well, it's still Thursday, so tomorrow, being Friday, we have a red weather warning.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships.
Right, I knew you'd say that.
Huh?
But what if Stead had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about when someone's possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull.
But Junpei, you said you believe in curses.
Oh, got him.
Come on, that's totally different. Okay, let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
That's not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing.
Oh. What are you smoking?
William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes 20 years before it happened.
So he reached back in time and possessed someone.
Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay?
Huh? But...
Come on, let's get back to it.
Okay. You did it, Junpei. You're so smart. It's oily and gross, though.
Oh, it's cold in here. What is this place?
Are you blind? It's a freezer.
Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me.
Yeah, you are in a cloth, lady. You will freeze to death.
I'll freeze solid in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you.
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now.
But...
Huh?
No! Why did it suddenly close? Ah! The knob's frozen!
But why?
I mean, it kind of looks like a knob. Just saying.
It looks like the pipe next to it broke, and...
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
What do you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. Like, if you say so. Hold on. It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
What a big...
Oh.
God damn it.
Anyway, let's find a way out.
Aw, they could have had him, let's say, let's seek a way out. You know?
If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Right.
Okay, we've got the pork. We got the dry ice.
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees.
That's Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Oh, how do you know that?
Oh, she's a nerd!
Despite my looks, I am the the queen of random knowledge.
Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Yes, that's right.
You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
So, this is another required point, which is why I'm letting it play out. So, it does seem rather odd.
It is kind of weird.
But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure...
It won't turn into a liquid, right?
That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one.
See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide?
There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Huh?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees?
You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called?
I heard it's called Ice 9.
So yet another number 9 in the game. But this also carries back over to the discussion we had about the frozen mummy. So it is worth paying attention to.
Ice 9?
Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists.
Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9, or is it water?
Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So, you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different.
So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that?
Yup. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it. They did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin on its way to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Scientists around the world wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and asked for seeds. Oh, a seed is a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be easy. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, even the samples nearby did, even though they were tightly sealed. And it didn't end there. After that day, it doesn't matter where in the world it is. All glycerin crystallizes naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like... how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating. Communicating in some way that we can't sense.
Morphing, you might say, through a field that we cannot see. And
now it's happening everywhere.
I don't think this one's story important.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9?
What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean.
A lot like? Oh, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees? Man.
It'd be the end of the world. At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here.
Selfish, isn't he? Ice 9 is interesting and all, but we can discuss it more once we get out of this freezer.
Hey, you're, with that outfit, right? Anyway, I wasn't done in here. I need this. No. I need this big lump of meat. It's really hard. It's frozen stiff. Hey, June, can you say that again? Huh? Say it again. It's really hard. Again. It's really hard? Thanks. Something wrong, Junpei? Your face is bright red. Nothing. I'm fine. If it's that hard, you can probably use it as a hammer. Yeah, good point. Maybe we can use it to break something. Let the young man be horny. Gotta keep warm somehow.
Put water into the bottle with dry ice, and make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob. Alright, that's set.
Right. We can skip all this now. It's not important pseudoscience. Boom! I forgot, he just runs straight for the grill and puts his hands on it. Okay. So, chunk of pork. Onto the thing. Think we can eat the pork? Alright. Okay. So, it's... And we can get out of here now. How's your night going, though, Yura? Alright.
I think...
Right. So we can just let this run until the next door choice, which is, yeah, next we'll be going through door 7. But there's a whole hell of nothing gonna happen for the next few minutes while we fast forward, so we'll just let it run. Although, see, I feel like I could just jump back to the flowchart, but I don't know if that would interrupt things. Besides, depending on, like, the... Like, it would probably just set us back here anyway, so we might as well just let it run, right? Hmm.
I think it was probably 0.
Why?
Isn't that obvious? He's the guy who set this whole thing up.
You don't think that should mean the opposite? Seems to me like that means he didn't do it. I mean, who do you think took that stuff out in the first place?
Probably 0.
Yeah, exactly. Then why the hell would he put him back in after he'd taken them out himself?
To fuck around with us and kill our 9 hours.
It just doesn't make sense. Why do all that work?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So, what happened then? Who put...
So, one of us is the person...
Welcome back to anybody who got trapped behind the ad wall. You have missed nothing. Alright, we went back through door 8 last time. So it's definitely door 7 we need this time. And I think for the most part, a lot of it we're going to be able to zip through. Although zipping through it does mean we lose all of the 7 and Clover, like, just... just running roughshod on each other, but... it is what it is. Dun dun dun. The preparation room. It's something small that can fit in the little hole. Oh, Clover, don't say that to the internet. They, it's a woman's chest. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot. You're a real creepo. Okay. All right. Yay. Yeah, okay. Okay. No, Fee stands for Fire Emblem. Ammonia. 2. Okay. So... You don't need to teach me how pin pads work every time, video game. You know that, right?
You think we should go back?
Yeah, I think that's probably best. Hey, Seven, what's up?
Oh, well,
Is that a medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
Yeah, that's right. CDT.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Oh, okay, hold on. We can skip all this. He's going to talk about the detergent that basically did the same thing
Like
as
the molecules
glycerin.
were communicating with one another,
Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is all new.
transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly. But how did you know?
I heard another story, kind of like that one.
When?
In the freezer?
What? The freezer?
Yeah, June told me.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
That sounds familiar?
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Do you?
Know about Ice 9? Now, here, this one's critical. I believe we have to mention Ice 9 by name here. So,
Do you know about Ice 9?
Ice 9? Ice 9. Ice 9. Ice, ice, ice.
too cold, too cold.
That's it. I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat.
That woman?
Alice!
Alice? Who the fuck is Alice?
Who's Alice?
Not as crude as my question, Junpei, but close enough, close enough. Silver Star.
Come on, the woman who won't melt at room temperature.
Huh?
You know how the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right?
Yeah, more than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it?
Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies?
I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? It was a cruise liner, just like the Titanic.
No, that was the ship that picked up the survivors. The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS McKay Bennett. The McKay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident. It set out from Halifax, a port in Canada, and recovered 306 bodies. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyway, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid.
This isn't a very nice story. So, what happened next?
Well, they say the McKay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around in the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff that dislodged as the ship sank. One of the things they found was a coffin.
A coffin?
Yeah, a wooden one. The craftsman who made it must have been pretty skilled. It wasn't just a wooden coffin. It was all wood, no nails, no reinforcements, no gaps in the wood anywhere. The thing was airtight. The crew got pretty curious about what might be inside it and opened it up. They had to get a wedge and hammer it open. It was so well made.
You're up at 5? Oh, monster, oh. Sleep well. I hope you have good sleeps. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Inside, they found a woman. Or, I guess you should say, they found the dead body of a woman. Her hair was thick and black, and her skin rich brown with no blemishes or signs of decomposition. They say that she looked gorgeous, like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she just looked like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike, she looked like she might wake up any minute. And she didn't, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rest of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid. Eventually, the McKay Bennett finished searching and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to thaw. They say that the stink was horrible. But there was one body that didn't thaw. And that was...
The girl in the coffin!
That's right. Everybody thought for sure that she'd melt and start to rot like the rest of them eventually. But weeks passed and nothing happened. Then a month passed, and another. And it was summer, and she was still frozen solid. After a while, people started to say she was some sort of miracle. Rumors about her started to spread. People came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice.
There you go, Didymus.
Alice. Of course, those rumors didn't last long.
Why?
Well, she up and disappeared. One day Alice was there, the next day she wasn't. They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body. With the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quickly. After a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then, but that's about it.
Wait, you just said that she was on this boat.
Yeah, I did. Alice has got to be somewhere on this ship.
Now why the hell would you say something like that?
Because I know.
And just what is it you know?
What happened to Alice after she was stolen?
All right, tell me. What happened to Alice?
Well, around that time, the word was that there was a special black market in New York. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain.
Lord Gordain.
You've heard that name before, right?
Lord Gordain. Oh, isn't he the guy who bought the Gigantic? The Titanic's sister ship?
Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet.
What do you mean?
Gordain bought Alice in 1912. 4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic. And he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic. But nobody knows where. He died in 1931. And apparently he died without ever telling anyone where Alice was hidden. However,
what?
Well, he did have one close friend who asked him. Where is Alice? And he said, Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the Gigantic.
Forest of Knowledge.
What the hell is that? Is it some kind of riddle?
Your guess is as good as mine. So that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's hidden somewhere on the Gigantic. In other words, she's hidden somewhere on this ship.
Hey! What are you two doing over there?
Yeah, busted.
Stop wasting time and get over here!
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez!
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
Alice. Huh.
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
Then was that Egyptian priestess Alice? Did the water in her body become Ice 9? No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist.
Well, that was fun, right? Alright. So... Okay then. Alright, let's give... So... basically, everything swaps out except the heart. Alright, we are good. Let's get out of here.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
Here we go. Okay, so this is the next bit. We give Clover the 4-leaf clover.
Oh, yeah. It's in my pocket somewhere. Here it is. A 4-leaf clover. Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck. That's what a 4-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm. Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive, somewhere. I'm sure of it. You've just gotta believe in that.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Now come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit.
Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
Believe it.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
What?
Oh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the 4-leaf clover.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Oh, no. It's nothing. Just forget about it.
Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about?
You promise you won't tell anyone?
Cross my heart.
Really?
Really?
I can trust you, right?
If I can trust you not to axe me in the face, yeah.
Of course you can.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
Wait. On this ship?
Yeah, this ship. It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Communicating through these fields that you can't see.
Uh-oh.
Fields that you can't see?
Like, think about this. This is John, right? But is he really John?
Huh?
Isn't this like Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus? You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
Like, what are you, an idiot, Junpei?
No?
No.
Really? Okay, well pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works. Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks. One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
Patch it up.
Well, I guess I'd patch it up. Get some cloth and close up the hole.
But what if another hole opens?
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches. Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the locked socks thing?
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of a ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with? And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
Whichever one Theseus is riding on.
Hey, do you think it's the same?
What's the same?
These guys. Is this John, or is it Lucy now?
The mannequins have transitioned.
John's head and heart are both his.
So is his left arm.
But apart from those, and a single arm, the rest of his body was once Lucy's.
We're just like these mannequins. Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die, and new ones are born. Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once.
Ew.
Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right? That's how we're all connected.
Microplastics. Wait.
Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long? How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around. Oh? What were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't. We were just
Just...
playing with the mannequins.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
7, you shut the fuck up. You don't get to comment. You called the torso without a heart hot.
You're a dick.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, alright?
Fine then. Alright, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know?
Why so serious, Junpei? Alright, well, we can skip all this now.